Hey everyone, Ramix here, back with another Guild Wars 2 build guide. Today we're diving into the Untamed, one of the most versatile and explosive DPS options I have tried for World v World Zerg DPS. Whether you're new to Untamed or looking for tips to push your gameplay to the next level, I'll walk you through everything you'll need from the ideal gear setup and essential mechanics, all the way to mastering the rotation and pet management for maximum impact. Alright, let's jump into it. Let's talk gear. We're going with full Marauder stats across the board, paired with precision infusions to comfortably reach around 70% crit chance, helping us consistently hit crit cap. For runes, choose either Scholar or Dragonhunter, both provide excellent flat damage increases. When it comes to weapons and sigils, your hammer will run Rage and Hydromancy sigils for quick burst potential, while your spear gets Force and Bloodlust to maximize damage. When selecting traits, our main focus is maximizing damage output. However, flexibility is important if your squad is outnumbered or lacking healing support. Consider swapping in Lesser Signet of Stone for added survivability. Within the Untamed trait line, pay special attention to Unleash Power and Let Loose, as they are key to our DPS effectiveness. Corrupting Vines adds plenty of Boon Corrupt and Boon Strip into our rotation. Let's quickly review the core Untamed specialization mechanics. The Untamed mechanic revolves around switching between Unleashed states for you and your pet, significantly boosting your combat versatility. When you're unleashed, you'll gain access to powerful ambush skills, essential for stripping enemy boons and delivering burst damage. Additionally, the synergy between Let Loose and Unleash Power ensures these ambush skills become instantly available whenever you swap weapons, allowing you to chain two ambush skills back to back for devastating burst potential in the opener. Don't worry too much about this for now, as we'll review this in the openers and rotations segment of the video. So you get ambush skills and damage increases when you're unleashed, but what about your pet? When you move the unleashed state from yourself to the pet gains new unleashed beast abilities. Venomous Outburst teleports your pet 900 units to your target, applying conditions on impact. Rending Vines makes your pet explode, corrupting 2 boons on up to 5 nearby enemies, adding extra AoE boon corrupt to your kit. Last but not least, Enveloping Haze creates a poison combo field at your pet's location, dealing strike damage to up to 5 enemies. It also destroys projectiles within the area and applies chill, but only to disabled foes. While zerging, aim to unleash your pet every 15 or 20 seconds to cycle through boon strips and Enveloping Haze if possible. Now that we've covered the pet mechanics, let's talk about the best pet choices for zerg fights. The Brown Bear and the Morello, both pets have a damage immunity, making them excellent at surviving when teleported into the enemy zerg to boon corrupt. The Brown Bear provides valuable condition cleanse for allies, while the Morello's poison field adds extra AoE pressure in fights. The Turtle Pet is also a strong alternative with high durability and a projectile block, and range attacks that let it contribute to fights without being in constant danger. Choosing the right kind of pet makes sure that it stays effective in the chaos of large-scale battles. I highly recommend setting your pet to avoid combat and manually keybinding the pet skill Return to Me, as well as the pet attack command and pet swap, as they are key to keeping your pet active and alive in zerg fights. Now that we understand the pet and Untamed mechanics, let's review our two weapon sets. The Spear is a versatile weapon with attacks ranging from close quarter melee strikes to ranged skills reaching up to 1200 units. Ravager's Abandon releases a wave in front of you up to 600 range in a cone shape, dealing high damage and spawning spores under each enemy target hit. This skill provides solid AoE pressure and strips. Your Spear auto attack hits up to 3 targets in melee and functions as a ranged auto attack with a max range of 900. Mongoose's Frenzy. This skill strikes twice, hitting up to 5 targets each time for solid damage. Falcon's Stoop. This is a decent single target range skill, but is not very useful in zerg fights. Avoid using it. Warclaw's Engage. This skill is a 600 range leap with evade frames tied in, and it has solid damage too. Predator's Prowl grants 3 seconds of stealth and enhances Spear 2, 3, 4, and 5 with stealth empowered effects. For our stealth empowered abilities, Spear 2, Wolf's Onslaught. This skill gains a 3rd hit for extra burst. Spear 3, Owl's Flight, gains piercing, hitting up to 5 targets and becoming unblockable. Always use this when stealth empowered. Spear 4, Predator's Ambush. This skill only gains a daze when you stealth empower it and no damage increases. You should avoid using it. And lastly, Spear 5, Spider's Web. This one becomes an AoE CC ability, immobilizing 5 targets and granting yourself super speed. Onto the Hammer. The Hammer is a powerhouse melee weapon that excels in both offense and defense, offering strong crowd control and high burst potential. While zerging, we primarily use the Ranger Unleash skills, which focus on dealing higher damage to CC'd foes and stripping some boons. For the Hammer Ambush skill, we have Relentless Whirl. This skill spins your hammer around, striking enemies around you while moving faster during the channel. Each enemy hit for the first time spawns a spore, adding extra burst and strips. To get the most out of this skill, try to cleave as many new enemies as possible during the 2-second channel. For Hammer 1, we have the Hammer Auto Attack, a solid 3-target cleave, with the 3rd chain striking 5 targets. Unleashed Wild Swing, a quick 5-target AoE swing that deals extra damage to disabled foes. Unleashed Overbearing Smash. This skill has strong damage output and boon strip on the 2nd hit. Unleashed Savage Shockwave. This skill pulses 3 delayed hits, making it ideal for comboing with the other skills. And Hammer 5, we have Unleashed Thump, a 600 range leap with solid damage and self boon application, which is also a blast finisher. When your pet is unleashed, your hammer skills change to a more defensive and CC oriented set. On Hammer 2, Wild Swing, this is a fast hitting AoE cleave that does less damage but grants barrier on hit. Overbearing Smash, this dazes 5 targets and grants barrier on 2nd hit as well as another daze. Savage Shockwave, excellent defensive CC tool, useful for peeling and controlling enemies. And Hammer 5, Thump, another 600 range leap that also applies a knockdown. Before we get into the rest of your utilities, let's talk about your elite skill, Forest's Fortification, one of the most powerful defensive tools in your kit. By default, it has a 90-second cooldown and provides you super speed, stability, resistance, and 50% damage reduction for 6 seconds. But here is the key mechanic. Every strike you land while it's active reduces its cooldown by 1 second. With proper execution, you can completely reset the cooldown. To maximize this, always combo Forest's Fortification with Exploding Spores. If timed correctly, while actively DPSing, you can bring Forest's Fortification's cooldown back to 10 or 20 seconds, allowing you to sync it with each Exploding Spores cycle for consistent spike damage and boon strips. A bonus tip here, Your pet's AoE attacks also contribute to this cooldown reduction, making them an essential part of keeping Forest's Fortification's cooldown available in long-term engagements. Abilities like Enveloping Haze and the Morello's Poison Field add extra ticks, helping you shave off a lot of time. For your heal skill, Perilous Gift. This will be your default choice while zerging, as it provides super speed and temporary damage immunity, allowing you to dive deep into enemy zergs and execute hammer ambush plays quickly and safely. Exploding Spores. This is your bread and butter. This skill summons 6 spores in a circle around you, detonating after 1 second. Each explosion deals high damage, removes 2 boons, and applies poison, hitting up to 3 enemies per spore. Mutate Conditions is an instant cleanse that removes all conditions but leaves you with some vulnerability. It also grants some fury and acts as a stun break, making it an incredible defensive tool. Signet of the Wild provides a flat damage boost through its Ferocity passive. Its active effect immobilizes enemies, but while zerging, it's best to keep it off cooldown for the sustained damage increase. Unnatural Traversal. This is a great tool for aggressive plays, allowing you to teleport directly into an enemy. This works especially well when combined with Spear 5's stealth, setting up Forest's Fortification and Exploding Spores for an instant unstoppable burst. Tip: disable auto attack to avoid breaking stealth after teleporting. Signet of Stone. A solid defensive choice when support is scarce, providing you with another damage immunity. Nature's Binding. This skill creates a CC ward zone that traps enemies, making them easy targets. It also grants quickness, enhancing your upcoming burst. Choosing the right utilities depends on your role in the fight and how much support you have. Adapt your kit to match your team's needs. Now that we know all the tools in our kit, let's talk about rotations and openers. For your opener, you'll start with Unleash Pet and immediately use all 3 of the Unleash Pet skills. Then, swap to Unleash Ranger, then hit your Spear Ambush. Next, you weapon swap to Hammer, and follow up with the Hammer Ambush. Once the channel's done, you'll follow up with Hammer 4, 2, 3, and then auto attacks. If you have your Elite ready, use it before your Spear Ambush and fit Exploding Spores somewhere into the rotation based on positioning. Typically, I use it right before Hammer Ambush for maximum effect. Once you're mid-combat, keep a steady flow between weapons. When you swap to Spear, here's your rotation. Spear 5, Ambush, Spear 2, Spear 4 in place or to safety, Spear 5, and Spear 3. At this point, you can just auto attack and use skills as they come back. When you swap to Hammer, the rotation is the same as your opener. So you begin with Hammer Ambush, and follow up with 4, 2, 3, and then auto attacks. Keeping this rotation smooth ensures consistent damage and boon strip pressure throughout the fight. And that wraps up this Untamed build guide. Hope this helps you all out in WvW. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out smaller channels reach a wider audience. Also, if you have any tips that I missed or advice, please feel free to comment below. I'd really love to hear it. Anyways, see you all next time.